Happy International
I
Compost
love that
Awareness Week.
cartoon.
I do love that cartoon so much. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to another fantastic episode of Throwback Thursdays. And I'm just going to change our screen here to our regular program so you guys can see this. There we go. Here we are. So, we are your hosts, Olivia and LaDonna McAbee. And today's a very special episode. As part of the Purposeful Shopping Network, we like to do things with purpose, with intention. And one of those things is taking care of Mother Earth. So I'm very planet friendly. And if you've gotten to know LaDonna by now, she's all about this mission of reducing landfill waste, right? So stop clogging up the landfills with waste. Think about innovative ways you can reduce and reuse some of the trash you may be throwing out. So, as always, with Throwback Thursdays, we want to hear from you. What are some of your favorite Throwback Thursday moments? So, share with us in the comments. Please come and say hello. Tell us where you're watching us from. And we are now streaming live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So wherever you are, please pop in those comments. We would love to give you a shout out as well, too. So, all right. And because it's the first week of May, we are celebrating with you International Compost Awareness Week. So, yay!
Yay! And that goes right along with saving the landfills, believe it or not.
Exactly. And I didn't even know this was a whole thing, like a whole celebration to promote awareness and education and resources around composting. And so this is the website where you can go get some more information that I found out about them. And, this week of International Compost Awareness is really to promote the benefits of composting, how to compost ideas, and how it can be an effective resource management for soil health and for plant growth. So any gardeners out there? Any gardeners watching, we would love to hear from you about how much you love composting.
That's right. And it doesn't have to be a vegetable garden. It's any kind of garden. Flowers, anything.
And if you're wondering, well, I don't have space to compost, I don't know where to compost, I don't even know where to begin to compost, we have a special treat for you. We have the amazing Cathy Nesbitt. She's going to come on here in a minute, and she's an EcoPreneur up in Canada, and she is going to share with us her tips about how you can start composting today. Oh my gosh! And we have our first audience participant. Hey, Mr. Alex.
Hey, Alex. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much for joining. I am in my zone. You know what? I turned 40 and I am just living my life out loud. So thank you. So nice to hear from you, Alex. Thank you for watching. All right. So without further ado, we're going to bring in Cathy. So hang on one second here. Ta-da! There she is.
Hey, Cathy. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited to be here. Thank you, LaDonna and Olivia. Yay.
Thank you so much for being our first guest. So we would like to honor you with a Cathy sandwich.
Big hugs.
Hey.
Cathy sandwich.
Oh, technology. What fun.
Yes, we love fun.
Awesome. All right, comments are coming into. Oh, yes. Thank you, Alex. This is going to be an amazing show. And Alex is up in Massachusetts. He's a dear friend of mine from back home. And so I'm so happy to hear and see him again. So thank you. This is the power of social media these days, right? That we can connect from all over with myself in Florida, Donna's in Texas, and Cathy, you're up in Ontario, I believe, right?
Canada, yes. Yes, I am.
Yes, that's awesome. That is awesome. But that's the greatness about what we do today is we can be anywhere and everywhere and communicate with one another.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, indeed.
What a gift. Look at the plaque I have.
Absolutely. How true.
Awesome. Well, let's get this party started. So, Cathy, tell us a little bit about your business, Cathy'sComposters.com. How did that get started?
Yeah, thank you. So it's the 20th anniversary of my great green business. Can you imagine selling worms by the pound for 20 years? I'm located Just north of Toronto, largest city in Canada. And in 2002, our landfill closed and we started exporting garbage to the US. Ah, yikes. Sorry, US citizens. So here's some numbers. I mean, it's staggering the numbers. 6 million people live in the Greater Toronto area. Half live in condos or townhouses without space to do outdoor composting. And at the beginning of this silly exporting of garbage, because I think it's a big waste of resources, right? Like the environment, first of all, like all those trucks rumbling around, yikes. 1,000 trucks a week leaving Toronto area, 200 a day. Wow. It's just like, talk about traffic congestion, and the trucks had to wait at the border to be, for their passport to clear. So idling all the while, like it's just staggering. And I was like, I've got a solution. So I was like, here we go. I started, this is indoor composting with worms. So I mentioned the apartment dwellers and townhouse people because they don't have space for outdoor composting. So this is a solution for everybody. So, if you have a small space, think about a New York apartment or a little studio place, right? Not a lot of place. So it's any container will do, but I do happen to have, look at this beautiful thing. Yoop. It's a stool. Look at, it's got a couple of trays. I'll talk about how that sorry, here we go. It is actually a functional piece of furniture. So, people are like, I don't have space for anything more. Now you do. Take out one of your chairs. You can put in a stool, which is a functional piece of furniture. So just like outdoor composting, the worms require a carbon nitrogen mix. So it's your shredded paper is the bedding. Paper, leaves, straw, cardboard is the carbon source. The nitrogen is your food scraps. So all your fruit and veg, coffee, tea, pasta, rice, beans, grains, plant clipping. The worms eat it all and they turn it into nutrient-rich soil to grow more delicious, nutritious food.
Now, do you ever get people who say like, ew, I don't want worms in the house?
Yeah, you don't know how many. So many people, right? Because it's education. We think that worms belong outside. So it's just a matter of educating people like, ooh, is it going to smell? Am I going to get fruit flies? Are the worms going to escape? And what were my questions? Does it smell? No, it's aerobic process, meaning with oxygen. So if we smell a rotting smell, that oxygen has been converted into methane, into gas. We can't breathe gas. The worms can't breathe gas. It's like a built-in mechanism. All right. What did I say? No fruit flies. Okay. So my question to people is when they say, I don't want to have fruit flies, I say, have you ever had fruit flies? And I wait for them to say yes, right? Because most people have. And then I say, have you ever had a worm bin? And I wait for them to say no. And when they say that, I say, good. And then I say, so the fruit flies don't come from the worm bin because you never had one. Okay, so they come from the food you're putting in. So I'm going to use bananas. When we bring the bananas home from the grocery store, they're green or yellow. As they start to get speckled and ripened, perfect environment for the fruit fly eggs to hatch and fly around and bug us, right? Because we don't usually wash the bananas, the orange, the melon, right? We just cut into it or we just peel the banana. So we can give that a quick rinse, put it in our worm bin, and then no fruit flies.
So now, Cathy, a question for you. Is the banana peel okay to put in the compost with the banana if your bananas have went bad? So does all of it go in?
It can do. Make banana bread first.
Oh, yes.
Or banana pudding or something. If you can use the banana, perfect.
Yes.
If not, yeah, absolutely. If not, all of it can go in. All of it
Perfect.
can go in.
Perfect.
Yes.
And do you have to have worms in your compost bed for it all to work correctly?
If you're doing it inside, I would say yes, because the worms speed up the process, and they make it so it's more efficient when you're doing it in a small in a small space. If you have space to do outdoor composting, no, you don't need worms, but you do need the proper combination of things. You need, the carbon, nitrogen, you need water, you need a little bit of soil, you need to turn it. Otherwise, it's just rotting food.
Right,
And pretty
right.
smelly.
Right, and smelly. Yeah.
Exactly. And I love this idea. I mean, I think about all my food scraps, right? Now I don't throw them away at all. I find ways to maybe dehydrate them, grind them, and then put them in my garden. I even learned to do that with eggshells. I learned that with eggshells, you can dry them out in the sun, bake it a little bit, and it's excellent calcium. Tomatoes love it.
Yes,
And
and
so, so do the critters.
Yes, and I learned about the coffee grounds 1.5 million years ago when we had a restaurant. One of the food vendors were telling me, because we had these beautiful plants outside, and you know how many coffee grounds a restaurant will have, and he's like, "Don't throw them away. Go put them out in your flower bedding." And we did that for years, and you know what? They did grow better, greener, powerful colors, and yeah, I did see a difference, and that's easy to do.
I never knew that you had a restaurant business so many years ago.
Oh
Like,
yes, millions years ago.
Throwback Thursday.
So how does composting help the landfills? Do you have any idea, anything behind composting versus the landfills?
Oh my gosh, yes, please. Thank you. Great question. So
We are all about saving our landfills here, and I really would like everyone to be more educated on how to save our landfills.
yeah, thank you. It's really important. Yeah, I think people believe that when they put organic matter like apple cores and banana peels, whatever, in the landfill, oh, it's okay, it's organic, it's just going to break down. No, folks, it doesn't, because what happens is when they finish dumping the day's load in the landfill, they run over it with tractors. They put like topsoil on top, not good topsoil, like just like fill on top, to squish out any oxygen, to compress it. So when things are compressed and there's no oxygen, it gets preserved. It's like a museum. And they are in fact mining landfills by, they're taking a sample of that landfill, with I don't know what it's called, but they take like they stick a tube down into the center. They pull out a sample of the center of it, and that stuff is not broken down like newspapers from 50 years ago that you can still read. No, right? So that was great. Thank you. So Toronto's landfill closed in 2002. Like, it was like, oh, there's still room. We can still put our garbage there tomorrow. Like nobody was thinking about, what about when it fills up? Oh, don't worry. We have room for today. We don't have to worry about tomorrow till tomorrow. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like how we live our life.
Exactly.
And yeah, so keeping it out of landfill, it serves a few purposes, because it saves space in the landfill for something else, first of all. And we can convert that into, with worms or without, by composting, we convert that organic matter into, well, I said air quotes, it is organic. I do that when I say garbage. Garbage.
Right.
Pardon me. So the organic matter, we add it back into the soil, so then naturally we can grow more nutrient-rich food. Because when plants are growing, I know you know this, but when plants are growing, the nutrients are taken out of the soil into the plant. So if we take those plant clippings and do anything other than compost them, we're robbing the soil. Yes, we can grow another plant, it's soil, but we can't, but it's going to be less nutrient rich.
That's awesome to know. I mean, I don't know if you know, but I can't even imagine how many tons of garbage that we throw away that can be composted and save so many tons of garbage in our landfills. I mean, I just can't imagine. It's got to be hundreds to thousands of tons, right?
Well, I know this is moderate, but it's about 25% of the food that's produced is landfilled. 25%. like it gets left in the field, so it just rots there. So that's not necessarily the good thing. Like composting is fine and leaving some of it is fine. But, you know, so a lot of it gets spoiled en route, you know, so it's the logistics of how do you get this stuff around. It's a big problem. And, you know, in Canada, we've done a few research studies. I'm sure US has done some as well. And they determined in 2 different locations that I know about that the average family discards about 25% of the food that they purchase. So imagine for the visual, bringing home 4 bags of groceries and then just leaving one at the curb. Like, oh, that one's going to end up in landfill. So we're just like, we won't even bring it inside.
Oh, and then you add the t-shirts and the jeans and the shoes and the furniture in with that. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous in 2022 that we have to, that we are not more knowledgeable of our landfills and composting and how to keep things out of the landfill. If you know, I'm putting you on the spot. And I'm so sorry, Cathy, but you're so great at this. Leaves, you know, I live in the country and we have millions of leaves that fall on the ground every year. And, you know, in the city, you would go by and there's just bags and bags and bags of leaves for the garbage man to pick up. Well, we don't do that here, but can you give us a fine example of what to do with all of these tons of leaves that, you know, we mulch ours up in the mower and it goes back into the soil sooner or later. But, you know, when they just lay flat on the ground, they just grow mold underneath it because of all the wetness. But do you have any ideas of how we can take those leaves and do something with them?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Oh, I love leaves. Leaves, my goodness. All right, leaves. I say leave them, first of all, like no one's raking the forest. But you're right. Right. Depending where you are and the size of your property and all that stuff. So a few things you can do. Some do-it-yourself or kind of MacGyver tips. Get a garbage can and then your whippersnipper. Like you want to use dry leaves. So you want to somehow be able to dry them out on a sunny day, you know, like just fan them out and then rake them up, put them in your garbage can, like a nice clean garbage can, and then get your whippersnipper and just kind of whippersnip them up. And then,
Whippersnipper.
You know, and I know we're using electricity.
I know what you're talking about, but just, yes.
You can, if somebody has a chipper shredder,
Yes,
you can you know go through those and another thing you mentioned the lawnmower. If somebody has a mulching mower, oh, that's the optimum. Just run over them and just leave them. It's a beautiful thing. You want to make sure that they're dry. That's the only thing. If they are dry, you can, like if people have gone and bagged them, oh, go around and collect those bagged leaves. Yes. Don't let them go in the landfill. No. Go and collect them. My father-in-law, he would go around and he would collect all the leaves that all the people had so generously raked for him and bagged. Thank you so much. My garden will be so happy. And then he did get I think it was a chipper shredder thing. I think he would rent it and then just chip all those leaves up, put them all over the garden. Like he would have like 6 inches of mulch all around the garden. Nothing to be done in the spring, right? I mean, your garden is completely protected. It's in the winter that the garden will regenerate. So having that mulch on there is a beautiful thing because then your garden is ready for spring planting. So the leaves, I would say leave them, you know, don't blow them around with one of those blowers. Don't blow them to the neighbors. Stop it.
yeah.
Right. That's just causing trouble with the neighbors. Quit it. Yeah. So you can, you know, if they're dry, you can bag them up and then use them in your compost as you need them. Right. Because we don't have leaves or carbon for the summer. Right. We would have shredded paper, but, you know, we wouldn't have the leaves. Oh, yeah. Leaves, I would say, be sure not to put them in a bag and put them at the curb because
It just kills me every time I go by the city homes during garbage day and all these, you know, they put them in these fancy paper bags, but the garbage man picks them up. They're not getting recycled. They're not getting mulched. And, you know, even with me living in the country, you know, in the winter and fall, we kind of let our leaves fall where they may. But then at the beginning of spring, we got to get all those leaves out of the flower bed so we can get it all cleaned up. But then we mulch them with the mower. But so many don't do that, So, uh, so again, it's all about education, I believe. It's educating the minds of how easy it is to preserve our landfills and for us to have a better environment, because when they burn some of these things, I think you talked about gases earlier in the show. Some of these things give out the gases that are not good for our environment or ourselves. So let's keep that away. I mean, I am just bound and determined to educate everyone on how to save our landfills and our earth and our environment, our air. We want to breathe in goodness.
Absolutely. And I just want to give a shout out to one of our faithful followers here, Oyi. So Oyi is watching in from LinkedIn. So how amazing is this? And so he's been following the
that's awesome. Welcome. And I love he said something about use the leaves for fire, I think.
Yes. So first off, he said that, you can turn some of this garbage, organic compost into power for your home. So that's interesting concept right there.
Oh, right? Do you know anything about that, Cathy?
Absolutely, yes. I know a little bit about a lot of things.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so composting is a type of composting is called thermophilic composting. Backyard composting generally doesn't get like in one of those plastic little earth machine things, like the black plastic composters. It's really challenging to get it thermophilic or heating up, where it heats up, it kills the bacteria, it kills any weed seeds. But if you have a big enough system, you can have thermophilic heating, thermophilic compost, which throws off a lot of heat. And so you can capture that heat and then heat a building. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
That is incredible. I had no idea.
Amazing. So thank you, Oyi, for jumping in. And yes, he also made a follow-up comment about the leaves and using that for fire log. That's another excellent tip. So thank you so much for joining in our conversation today and participating. And something that you may also didn't know about Cathy is that she is really into sprouting. So I ordered a sprouter from Cathy not too long ago. And so this is an unboxing for you guys to see what a sprouter looks like. But here we go. Ready? So I'm going to bring this onto the screen right now. And so maybe Cathy can walk us through this. But we see this beautiful box. And this is what you get when you order the sprouter. So tell people a little bit about what sprouting is and how they may be able to get started.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so sprouting is simply the process of taking a dry seed or bean and adding water or putting it in soil, and then that seed or bean comes to life. It's like it's been waiting dormant to serve its purpose. Those are mung beans. So those are the bean sprouts in Chinese food, the white bean sprouts. So those are mung beans. And these are the fastest germinating beans. So they'll germinate in this system in about 24, in Florida, 24 hours. In Canada in the winter, 36 to 48 hours, depending on, right? It's the heat and humidity. So how this works, it's a stainless steel mesh. 3 tablespoons of those beans will yield 2 cups of food. So beautiful. This is my health plan. So you add about a cup of water in the bottom and then put your dome on top. So it's like a little hydroponic greenhouse. It's got a little microclimate. It's upside down. I don't know what's happening. It's not working properly.
So what goes first? Is this the bottom?
The shallow dish is on the bottom. The shallow piece.
Shallow dish is on the bottom. Okay, so this is the bottom.
Yes.
Okay.
And then your stainless steel mesh inside.
This goes inside. Okay.
And then your dome on top.
And then the beans, right? Will go in.
Oh, the beans. Yes, of course.
Okay. The beans, and then this will go on top.
And then the dome on top, yes.
Oh.
And you don't push it down, right? So it's like a little greenhouse, like a little spaceship. And you do it on the counter, light or dark, but not in the window because you'll get bitter beans. Look at it, so beautiful. And then you just rinse. It's super clean and easy. This is my health plan. I have used that super simple sprouter for 20 years. And I met the gentleman that designed that the first event that I did with my worm business. Can you imagine? I knew nothing about sprouts or sprouting. Why would I eat them? Why would I grow my own? All of those questions. And so here's the thing about sprouts. They're hydrating, alkalizing, regenerative, biogenic, and contain up to 100 times more digestive enzymes. Wow. Like they're nature's original fast food.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. And something else you get is a personalized card from Cathy when you order. And then a fun little bookmark, warming your way into your heart. And
Oh, that's cool. That is cool.
because LaDonna does a swag swap, and so if you're looking to
Yes.
items with her orders that she sends out to her clients daily, these are some things that you can get creative with, right? And so Cathy's all about creativity. I love these little postcards, again with the explanations, dome on top.
We'll have to get together and swag together, Cathy.
Yeah, I love it. Let's do it.
He's also a laughter yoga instructor, right? And so she's got brochures, all the swag in her sprout box. So I love that
That's
about Cathy.
awesome.
Thank you so much. So be sure to order your sprouted today. I've got the links everywhere here, but you can go to Cathy'sComposters.com, and that will allow them to go and order their living sprouter too, right, Cathy? So they have their living
Absolutely.
sprouter and the living composter. So living composter and this beautiful space dome sprout machine also to keep yourself healthy and looking vibrant. Awesome. Wonderful.
And you can use that greenhouse for any plant that you want to sprout, correct?
Yes, I really think for me it's my health plan. So I don't go a day without sprouts, So yes, you can, but it's designed for the larger beans, I would say, because the mesh is a little bit bigger. Yeah.
Awesome. You've been such a fantastic guest, Cathy, just educating us about so many things today. We've learned the gamut from indoor composting to thermal composting to now sprouting, right? Sprouting for your health. And it's time for our segment where we do a favorite items reveal. Mother's Day is this weekend. So if you are looking for your last minute Mother's Day gift, so please consider homesweethometreasures.net. And we're offering a very special promotion this week, ends Friday night. And be sure to listen for the code word drop. And so after the favorite items reveal. So LaDonna, do you have any items you want to showcase for us today?
You know what? I sure do. I have this vintage beauty here, a wooden frame, vintage. And then it is a foil art on the inside, glass. It's very hard to see, I know, because of the reflection, but it's brilliant, vibrant colors of pink, yellow, blue, gold. Look at that.
That's a good angle right there.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. The wooden frame has carved design in it. Absolutely gorgeous. You will find that on our website. And you know what? It is just a few days from Mother's Day. So don't forget, you can go to homesweethometreasures.net and get a gift certificate. Let mom shop for herself. That way she gets exactly what she wants and she can use it at any time. And the good thing about our gift certificates, you can buy them in any amount that you want. There's no set amounts. So just go online, purchase your gift certificate. You're done.
You are done. That's excellent. That was beautiful. I mean, I really appreciate the handicraft behind that and the artistry, right? With the inlay and the wood and the foil piece. So that is a very unique piece. Perfect for Mother's Day. Put it in her bedroom wall.
Hard to find pieces like this anymore. This is from the 20s. Hard to find.
Wow. Yes. And what a shame that would be in a landfill, right? So why not beautify home, bring some energy into a loving home rather than just.
And when I found this piece and it wasn't as beautiful it is now. But after I cleaned it, polished it, It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So, I could have very easily thrown that out, but no. You've got your wood, you've got your foil, you've got your glass, and the wiring on the back. So who knows how long? Hundreds of years for that to go back into our soil.
Indeed. So if you're tuning in now and listening for that code word drop, the code word is mom. So yes, mom, when you shop homesweethometreasures.net and enter that code word, you'll be able to receive 15% off your order plus a surprise bonus gift. So shop now, shop early. Mother's Day is this Sunday. And once again, it's always flat fee shipping. So $5 US, $10 international. So
Wow.
thank you.
And that is a steal of a deal.
Yeah.
It really, really is. So once again, we so appreciate you being on here, Cathy, as our first guest. Be sure to connect with Cathy. She's on all the channels. She's on LinkedIn. She's on Facebook. Order your sprouter today, and you can order your living composter today too, all from Cathy, and support this wonderful cause and mission. And she's on tons of interviews and podcasts, I think almost daily. So she's a lot of fun to follow around on social media. So be sure to connect with her. You haven't done so already. So once again, she's on LinkedIn and she's on Facebook as well. This has been another fantastic episode of Home Sweet Home Treasures Throwback Thursday, where environmental awareness never goes out of style.
And thank you, everyone, for commenting and being in the conversation with us. We love it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Oi, for watching and tuning in. And thank you also, Alex Baring, for watching as well. So if you're watching this on replay, hashtag replay and keep the conversation going. It's really important that we learn these things, right? I mean, sometimes we may not have grown up with being taught how to compost or even having awareness around where to start or what to do. But hopefully this has given you a little bit of a spark of an idea and that you can explore these resources further. All right.
Beautiful.
Excellent.
Cathy, thank you for everything today.
Thank you, Cathy.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
See everyone next time. Thank you. Yes, hugs.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.